nobody asked for it. Our governor here in California, Gavin Newsom, versus Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. DeSantis is running for president. Gavin Newsom is not. So why are they debating? It's actually very simple. You know how Mario has an evil version of himself called Wario, and sometimes they randomly challenge each other to a go-kart race? It's like that. The debate is on Fox News tomorrow night, and this isn't the only debate Newsom has on the schedule tonight. In fact, right now as we speak, Newsom is...
Jimmy Kimmel made an unusual move by turning his late-night spotlight on California Governor Gavin Newsom, pulling him straight into Hollywood's comedy arena. Whether it was a clever jab, a sly compliment, or the beginning of a new feud, the gesture has stirred far more noise than expected, proving that when Kimmel takes aim, the fallout tends to be hilarious, especially with the ongoing Lindell versus Newsom drama already in full.
Lindell versus Newsom, which is already in progress.
And that's how's it come I'm not allowed within 300 feet of no Long John Silver's no more.
Mr. Lindell has made a lot of accusations. So, Governor, let me ask you directly, is it too easy for Californians to commit voter fraud?
Not at all. In California, our focus is on accessibility. There are 8 approved methods to vote in the Golden State. Mail-in, walk-in,
and subscribe, because you won't want to miss this. Jimmy Kimmel has decided late-night comedy wasn't chaotic enough without dragging California politics into the mix. And who better to throw into the monologue blender than Gavin Newsom, the governor, who somehow manages to look like he's running a vineyard, a skincare empire, and a presidential campaign all at once, setting the stage for yet another comedic
beatdowns. Trump has been getting a lot of them lately from our governor here in California, Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom has been mocking and mimicking Trump on social media, which you've probably seen, but if not, here are some of the highlights.
We welcome you to Munchkin Lane.
I'm calling paramedics and your family, Mr. Miller.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
So they're funny. They're definitely funny, but some Democrats are asking, why are you spending energy?
One moment Gavin Newsom looks like he's about to roll out new housing reforms, and the next you're half expecting him to pitch a shampoo commercial, since he could probably sell conditioner better than he sells policy. And that's exactly why Jimmy Kimmel took aim. Because let's face it, California practically writes its own PUNCA.
Here now is the governor himself, Gavin Newsom. Hello, Governor Newsom. How are you?
Whoa, hey! What's up, Jimbo Slice? I'm playing Fortnite on Twitch with my constituents. Throw some ones in the chat if you think our democracy's in peril.
I don't know what that means, Governor, but I wanted to ask about your social media posts.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, my engagement has been off the hizzy. Matter of facto, you get to be the first to peep the freshest memes I'm rolling out on the Soch Meads. World premiere. Check it. Here's one of J.D. Vance taking a squat in a porta potty at the Warped Tour, and me pushing.
California is a place where rent for a shoebox costs more than most people's car payments. Traffic laws feel more like casual suggestions, and wildfires practically have their own PR team. Gavin Newsom has coasted for years on his polished Mr. Cool governor image, but when late-night comedy starts throwing shade, not even the slickest hair gel.
Vote on a sea turtle. You can whisper it into a Topo Chico bottle and then toss it off the Golden Gate Bridge. That doesn't happen.
All right. Well, it seems like it's going great out there. We'll check back in a moment. Yeah. Oh, this is something, after a lot of fun we've had, Congressman George Santos is very close to becoming a former congressman. A rare vote to remove a congressman from office is expected to happen as...
Kimmel's jab was like tossing a match into a fireworks warehouse. The crowd didn't just laugh. They leaned in, because deep down there's something irresistibly funny about watching a Hollywood comedian roast the man running a state that somehow manages to be equal parts paradise and apocalypse.
Nobody knows what you mean more than me.
Hey, we're gonna hold a special bomb, my boy.
As you're refusing to go back on the Oscars, leaving us with no host, Jimmy. No host. No one wants the damn job. Why don't you want the job? I mean, you must have given them some advice on someone that would be a good host. I mean, 10 years from now, where the hell do you see late night going?
I fear that day, that Monday after my final show, and it's like, okay, well, what am I going to do?
I told you, you got to let your nuts hang, man. Just, hey, kid.
California is like that brunch friend who strolls in with designer sunglasses, maxed out credit cards, and a sob story about their Tesla getting repossessed, a disaster wrapped in a sun-kissed Instagram filter. And Gavin Newsom, no stranger to the spotlight, has been chasing national relevance since he realized hair mousse might be tax deductible. The trouble with being so polished is that it makes you an easy target. And Kimmel didn't just go after his policies, he went after the vibe. When your whole brand is effortlessly perfect, even one well-placed joke feels like a pie to the face on live TV, and the audience eats it up like the season finale of a reality show they didn't know they were watching. The roast works because it's rooted in truth. Newsom has been juggling California's endless crises, housing, crime, climate disasters, all while keeping that Hollywood grin intact. And people can tell when someone's straining to look like they've got it all under control, which makes for pure
Cool like that all the time at Santa Clara. You go Bronx.
Okay.
Here's another one. It's me steaming a rug with Don Jr.'s ex Kimberly Guilfoyle, and that was not a cheap rug. It even looks like we were married.
But wait, I thought you were married to Kimberly Guilfoyle.
I was?
You was, yeah.
No cap?
No cap.
Well, I guess that puts DJ TJ in the sloppy seconds club. No, but for real, Kim's a great person, and I wish her the best.
Okay, that's nice. What is that? Where are you right now?
I'm at my...
Kimmel tapped into America's favorite pastime, laughing at politicians who try way too hard to look flawless, because, let's be honest, no one's ever looked at Gavin Newsom and thought, yep, that guy definitely had a bad hair day. He wakes up looking like he's about to shoot a campaign ad, and that's exactly the problem in politics. Being too perfect makes you unreal. People love seeing celebrities spill coffee on themselves because it proves they're human. And Kimmel's joke was like making Newsom trip on the red carpet. The irony, of course, is that while roasting him, Kimmel actually handed Newsom the kind of national attention most politicians dream about, not the boring policy wonk stuff, but the viral cultural moment kind of attention. And the real show isn't even the joke itself, but the reaction. Newsom's fans rushing to defend him like protective siblings, insisting Kimmel doesn't get California politics, while his critics practically pop champagne, delighted that someone finally said out loud what they've been shouting on Twitter for years.
Governor-elect Gavin Newsom is our new governor. He was the lieutenant governor. He was mayor of San Francisco. And I don't know how I didn't know this until today, but Gavin Newsom was also once married to former Fox News host Kimberly Guilfoyle. They posed for this fantastic photograph together for Harper's Bazaar magazine.
The rest of us are just here for the memes. Because if politics isn't funny, it's just depressing, and California might be the ultimate punchline. Every time the state tries to roll out some shiny new progressive policy, it ends up looking like a blooper reel. From plastic straw bans to endless gas stove debates to tax codes that read like riddles, it's comedy gold. And Kimmel simply said the obvious in a way that made people slap their knees. With Newsom perfectly coiffed, as always reduced to the straight man in the gag. The timing was spot on too, since Newsom is straddling that odd space where he's not officially running for president, but clearly not just focused on California either, making the roast feel like teasing the runner-up in a beauty pageant. Unexpected, a little risky, and way funnier because no one saw it coming, like ordering dessert only to find the chef lit it on fire just to keep things interesting.
With the stars and trying to... Now, the reason this is particularly interesting, besides the fact that he's ultra-liberal and she's some kind of a fox bot, is because Kimberly Guilfoyle is currently dating none other than DJ TJ, Donald Trump. She must have a thing for slick back hair. I mean, what lady doesn't, I guess, but you know.
The aftermath is the cherry on top. Newsom now has to choose between laughing it off, clapping back with a rehearsed zinger, or pretending it never happened, none of which works perfectly. Since laughing makes him look desperate to be cool, responding makes him seem thin-skinned, and ignoring it makes him look guilty. He's used to ribbon cuttings, TED Talk-style speeches with better lighting, and flashing that California glow that says, "I've never pumped my own gas." But Jimmy Kimmel just jammed a wrench into the PR machine. That's the thing about comedians, they don't play by political rules. While politicians live in a world of talking points, bulletproof sound bites, and focus groups, comedians live in a world where the only thing that matters is the punchline, no matter who it burns along the way.
I'm bringing back Frolf.
Okay, so you're having fun with this, it seems like.
Aw, hells yes I am. Between me and you, being Trump feels great. You get to say anything. Fresno is a hellhole. I'm deploying the Red Hot Chili Peppers to Fresno to make it suck less. There'll be a chili pepper on every corner in Fresno, making sure that everyone rages.
Kimmel isn't worried about being polite, he's focused on making his audience laugh hard enough to forget about gas prices. And Gavin Newsom, with his flawless jawline and leading man energy, is the perfect target. He doesn't look like a typical governor. He looks like the actor cast as president in a blockbuster because no one more telegenic was available, which works wonders for campaign posters, but in comedy basically screams, "Mock me." After all, who trusts a politician who looks like they've never sweated through a shirt? Combine that with California's own reputation estate that outsiders see as an overpriced amusement park run by avocado enthusiasts, while insiders are either rolling their eyes at Sacramento or fighting 20 families for a 2-bedroom apartment. And the setup writes itself. Add a governor who styles his hair like he's headed to the Oscars, and you've got a recipe for comedy gold. One Kimmel knows will hit nerves both inside and outside the Golden State.
Stone cold liar. I respect the presidency. I've tried to have an open hand with him, tried to work with him. You can't work with Donald Trump. You can only work for him. And I will not. I refuse to work for Donald.
The laughs only get louder. It's not that Newsom doesn't try, he does. Delivering speeches with the cadence of a motivational coach and talking about progress like he's narrating a glossy ad for America's future, but the gap between branding and reality is irresistible fodder for comedians. If California is the land of dreams, then Newsom is the salesman promising a dream home while ignoring the termites in the walls. Once a comedian steps in, the script flips, serious interviews and policy debates collapse into punchlines. And for critics, that's validation proof their gripes about California's chaos aren't just partisan noise but mainstream comedy. They're already clipping Kimmel's jokes with captions like "Finally, someone gets it," while Newsom's allies scramble to highlight the state's innovation, opportunity, and wine country glamour. But you can't outspin comedy once you're roasted. The burn marks stick.
Again.
Oh, and you've got a hat too, I see. Now, are you selling that? Are you selling merch?
Oh man, I sure am. What's up, fam? I am stoked to announce that me and Skrillex collabed on our own exclusive dish of the holiest text of all, the Kama Sutra. You gotta see his remix of the Congress of the Cow. It can be all yours for the low price of $69.69.
Okay.
Check this out. Whoa, you can see my zipper lizard. Whoa.
Okay.
Ding dong. Who's home? Act now and you'll get also a big book of birthday letters I would have sent to Jeffrey Epstein if I knew him.
The best part is that Newsom can't even clap back. Effectively imagine him trying to trade barbs with Kimmel. He's not built for that. This isn't a guy who cut his teeth in open mic nights and dingy clubs. This is a guy trained to deliver cable news speeches polished enough to sound profound. His version of a zinger would probably be quoting statistics with extra enthusiasm, which is like bringing a butter knife to a sword fight. And here's the kicker. Every time Kimmel lands a jab, it only boosts Newsom's national relevance. Politicians dream of trending, even if the reason isn't flattering. So everyone wins except maybe his PR team, who are probably stress-eating kale chips right now. But zooming out, it says a lot about politics today that a late-night roast can feel more impactful than an entire legislative session. Comedy shows have become the places where people hear blunt truths about leaders. While the leaders themselves hide behind jargon and press conferences, Newsom can talk endlessly about renewable energy and infrastructure. But one sharp one-liner from Kimmel will define him in the public imagination for months.
Or anyone, for that matter, on their actions instead of their words, especially somebody as phony as Gavin Newsom, because in California, he signed into law allowing men to play against women in sports. And he could very easily now put forth another law basically pulling that back, and he won't do it. So yeah, he'll talk a good game with Charlie Kirk, but in the end, until I see him pull back that law and say this is not right, like President Trump has stood up for many years.
Other comedians are now circling, hunting their own angles, because once one late-night host takes a swing, the rest smell blood in the water. Nobody wants to miss the chance to roast California's poster boy while the topic is hot. And Newsom's face is probably being printed onto cue cards as we speak by next week. He could be the comedy piñata of the month. You almost have to feel a little sympathy for him almost because while he's projecting leadership, He's being dragged into Hollywood's comedy circus against his will, and he can't exactly tell them to stop. Politicians can attack each other, but they can't attack comedians without looking humorless, defensive, and thin. Strip away the speeches, the staged photo ops, and designer suits, and you're left with a man just trying to keep up with the jokes. While the jokes often land harder than the policies, and the voters notice, the real kicker is how quickly the internet turned it into a circus, with memes of Newsom's hair photoshopped into disaster scenarios, towering over California like a shiny-haired Godzilla, or blocking out the sun like an eclipse sponsored by luxury hair gel.